Hello everyone. I did not realize that my video had cut out. Fortunately, it ended at a really good spot. So what we're going to do is we are now going to be on page 8. But actually, you know what? I had made a mistake. I did realize we did not go over the last part of the warm-up, but it'll work really well with finishing up page 8. So actually, let's go to, if you want to look at the answers of the warm-up, or if you remember what you put, or if you want to go to your warm-up, if you remember what you put, let's go over the last section of the warm-up. All right, so remember, this is for the warm-up today. Based on the law of diffusion, draw arrows showing which way the molecule should go. So if I have a high concentration of molecules here and a low concentration of molecules here, then those molecules are going to want to move to the lower concentration. That's diffusion, right? So it's just flipped in the other situation. High concentration in this looks like a capillary, and that's what it is. Low concentration here, so they move out. All right, so now we're going to apply that same idea to our alveoli over here. All right. So just as a reminder, this is on page 8. And then also, here's our lungs. We zoom in on the lungs. Here's our alveoli. We zoom in on one of those, one of the like balloons of multiple alveoli, and we get technically what's called an alveolus, but we could still call it alveoli. But I'm just kind of orienting us on where we are. We're at the microscopic level. Here's a capillary. All right, we're labeling a capillary. So by the way, make sure that you are labeling this as you go through it. If you have colored utensils, awesome. All right, but this is our capillary. We could even label these as red blood cells. All right, that's one way we know it's a capillary. And then this is going to be our alveoli or alveolus. Either one works. All right, and so this is part of our lungs. And so we have blood coming from the right side of the heart. All right, and then this is going to go back to the heart. And remember, it goes back to the left side of the heart. And then it's going by the alveoli so it can do the gas exchange here. And then once you breathe in, the air fills up the alveoli. When you breathe out, it leaves the alveoli and goes back to your mouth. Okay, so let's look at the concentrations here, all right? And you might want to pause the video to just kind of see how things are set up before you keep on playing. But we have blue is going to be carbon dioxide. Red is going to be oxygen. And I purposely drew the concentrations this way. I purposely drew a high concentration of carbon dioxide on the left side of my capillary right here. I purposely drew a low concentration of carbon dioxide in my alveoli right here, all right? Which makes sense. When you breathe in, less than 1% of the air of the air that you breathe in is carbon dioxide. So there's going to be a low concentration here, and there's going to be a high concentration in your capillary because your blood just picked that up from all of your cells of your body from doing cellular respiration, releasing CO2 as a byproduct. All right, and then I purposely have a high concentration of oxygen in my alveoli. Right, when you breathe in, 20% of that air is oxygen. Most of it's actually nitrogen. 20% of that air is oxygen, and so we're going to have a high concentration here, and there's going to be a low concentration in our capillary because your blood that oxygen had already been delivered to all the cells of your body. It's going back to your lungs to pick more up. All right, so just like our warm-up, if I have a high concentration of CO2 in the blood, low concentration in the lungs, in the alveoli, which way is it going? High to low. It's going into the lungs. All right, and if I have a high concentration of oxygen in the lungs and the alveoli, and a low concentration in the capillaries, it's going into the capillaries. All right, so that's how oxygen is going to leave your body, leave the blood. It's how oxygen is going to go into your body, go into the lung, and go into your blood from the lungs. All right. So thanks for watching, everyone. Remember, this is page 8. Ooh, also remember, page 11 is going to be the assignment that's going to be due. Like, it's going to be our assignment on Monday when we get back. So it's not due, but if you had time and you wanted to get started with it, you could start with those first 2 questions on the respiratory system and the circulatory system. This is what I don't want you to do for those problems, though. I don't want you to be like, define capillary, define alveoli, define yada, yada, yada. I want you to tell the story. So, for instance, the heart pumps blood through the arteries, which turn into capillaries, right? And so there's an example of what something might look like on page 11. Thanks for watching, everyone.